few days away from Christmas and what, a week and a half away from the new year. Um, so this is going to be a perfect call today to get everybody on board, get the mindset right for the new year, where we're headed, what we're wanting to do. A little bit about myself. Kim and I, like she said, we've been working together on so many different projects now for at least 14, 15 years now. And I work full-time still. My goal is to be stay-at-home mom for my 3 girls, which is going to be happening next year. I am so adamant and just focused on new era and where this is going to lead. And not only am I excited for myself, I'm so excited for everybody that is on this journey with us. Um, you guys have no idea what's to come and how exciting things are about to get for us. So we're going to talk a little bit about managing our time. We all have the same 24 hours in our day. What we're looking for is like, where are we spending? Sorry? Oh, Kim, did you say something? Okay. So what, we have the same 24 hours in a day. And it's so easy to get overwhelmed and to get stressed out because we make a list. Say we write down our list and we have 20 things on there to do. And how many people on this call have that list? And guess what? Maybe if you're lucky, you got one thing accomplished. And it's frustrating. And why is that? So we're going to take a deep dive into, what we can do to change that around, work on our goals, for new era, financial freedom, whatever your goals are within the company. How we can, so what we're going to do is like, how are we spending our time? Are we spending our time wisely? Are we utilizing the time that we have? Because we all might have other jobs, you have families, you could be a caregiver to your parents, anything that, takes time away from your goals, which is also important. That's like our daily routine, what we do. Sticking to a schedule. I think that the major thing we're going to talk about today is how we can utilize our time and stick to a schedule, and how we can help you guys, um, reach the goals. Like the video said, Oprah, all these top leaders, have the same 24 hours. So how is it that some people succeed and then some of us are still struggling of how to move forward in this and not get overwhelmed and not get so stressed out. Kim, if you wanted to do the slides now, we can
Yeah,
start.
so
Thank
much.
you.
I think I was trying to get fancy with my PowerPoint. I added GIFs, so that might have been causing it to crash. So just bear with me as we go through this. I do want to talk about a little bit of my background. Some of you might have heard some of it. I do talk about my story in different angles depending on what the training is. So if you haven't heard me, then this is the first time. If it's a little bit of a review, thank you so much for listening again. But my background is actually just this workaholic. Basically, I'm pretty much known in my past for working a lot of jobs. And a lot of that came from my mom, who was a single mom. She had 3 girls, and we literally watched her work day and night. Like she had 2 jobs, plus side hustles, plus part times, different things that she would do. And I just saw my mom as a hard worker. And I just thought that's what every mom is supposed to do. That's how I grew up. So let's do that when I grow up. When I became 15 and got my SIN card, I was like, hey, I get to make money. And so a lot of the times that you know, when I was in high school, I never really thought, oh, I need to ask my mom for allowance. We didn't have allowance. I didn't ask our mom to buy us this, buy us that. Whatever she gave us is what we got. And we were just happy with that. So me and my older sister were closer to age, and I would watch her do the same thing. And she would work. She was like a promoter downtown and doing all these business things and working jobs and part-time jobs, going to school and all that. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do that too. So monkey see, monkey do, right? So I did that. I went to school. I got a student loan. I didn't have the money, so I got a student loan, went to school, and then I was working between the hours of that. And after I went to school, I did my practicum, got a job, and realized that job didn't pay me enough. And so I was like, oh, how am I supposed to live the lifestyle I dreamed of if I only make this much money? So I'm like, oh, okay, this is adulthood. I think I have to get another job because that's what my mom did. So I'll get another job to make money. And so I was working day shifts, night shifts, and then I came to a point where I'm like, I'm still not making enough money. which is so crazy. And if you know, Vancouver is one of the most expensive, now the most expensive cities in the world, and it hurts because it's so beautiful. We pay for the mountains, the water, the climate, the weather. We don't have drastic summers, drastic winters. We have it in between, but we are paying for that. And so sometimes people that live here, we joke around that we don't even get to enjoy the life that the city that we live in, because we're so busy working and hustling and grinding and trying to catch up. So most people are working paycheck to paycheck. So for me, I felt like I was young. At the time I was young, I was in a relationship where financially it wasn't helping either. So I was like, hey, I'm going to work harder. And I just thought, I was, independent woman. I'll take care of everything. I can work. So let me do that. So I would just make money, paycheck, and then I would get credit cards because I had a good credit. I would use the credit cards there, take out cash advance to pay for, rent or pay for different things, pay for car payments because my paychecks weren't enough because I'm paying down my student loan. And it became this vicious cycle of never ending. And so I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And this is where I really learned my time management. When someone introduced me to network marketing, I was looking at it like, okay, where am I going to have time to do this? Like, I'm so busy. I have now 5 jobs. I'm working 20 hours. I'm sleeping maybe 4. I felt like I never even slept, to be honest. I would close my eyes and wake up and go. I actually have, like, my sister has videos of me falling asleep different places. And it's like, it's crazy how I laugh about it now, but at that time I was not happy. I was depressed. I was, thinking, when is this going to end? Because when you're in jobs and when you're in situations, for me, I never like to give up. It was so hard for me to quit. And I was like, I don't want to let people down. So I just kept doing it and doing it, doing it. And so it became to deteriorate my health. Like, my hair is falling off, my skin was horrible, like breaking out, stress was coming through my body. And I could feel that my quality of life was really going down. And so I'm like, I need to change something. So even though I thought that I wouldn't have time for network marketing, I made the time. And because I had that capacity to do all those jobs, I learned, with some of the techniques I will talk to you about soon, how to really manage the time well and not waste it. Because when you're a young adult, you kind of want to just go out, hang out with your friends, go out and eat, spend hours at this place, and just chill. But for me, there was no chill. There was none of that, because I had a goal in my head and I was just like ready to just finish whatever this phase was in my life and catch that. So eventually, when I started to spend and invest my time in certain places, I was able to quit one job and then quit another job and quit another job until I quit all my jobs, and like was so sold on business and passive income that I felt like so renewed again. I'm like, I could never work another job again. Mind you, I do have projects at different types of jobs that I do that could be considered job, but it's very flexible and it's like on my time, which I have control of because now I know the value of my time. And I always say time is the new rich, because you can't get that back. And when you do spend your time on certain things, it just enriches your life better. And now that I have a 1 year old, I have a daughter. Like, in the beginning of my network marketing career, I always talked about my mom was my why. I wanted to retire her. I wanted to get her time back because she worked so hard for her family. And then I knew that eventually I would get married, I would have kids, and I would want to do spend that time with them and not be a working mother that could never see my kids and busy, known as a busy person. So when I, found the love of my life, I got married, we had a kid, and now I'm like, hey, this is what I've been talking about for years. This is the time now that I'm like, I don't want to spend away from my daughter now. Like, my daughter is 1 year old and it went by like that. And most of you that have kids know how fast it goes. And I can't get back those newborn stage unless I have another kid, which is the plans, but you can't get those moments back. So in general, like, speaking for business, I think a lot of people have goals, yes, to make income. Of course, money is important. You can have a lifestyle that you want and dream of. But for me in particular is to spend that time with my family and like to buy that time back where I can actually enjoy and be present and not worried about things. So yes, we are working hard. We're going to build our business, but you have control and you will be able to have that work life balance and get that money that you would get if you were working a 9 to 5 job or maybe overtime or 2 to 3 jobs. So we're going to start off with, I kind of mentioned in my story here, You know, a lot of people will look at me and say like, oh, you're so busy and stuff. Like me and my sisters have an event company. We do weddings. We do like, we're booked a lot, 3 to 4 weddings a week. And people are like, you're so busy. And yes, we are busy, but we know where to put our time in to get things done. So I always say, everybody's busy, right? If you have kids, you have jobs, you have things to do. We got to eat. We got to go to the gym. We have a lot on our plate. So if you can see my little SpongeBob here, this is me. This is literally me trying to clean, trying to do business and stuff like that at the same time. But there's studies that have been shown that busy people often accomplish like a lot of things because they have that ability and that capacity to do things effectively, which is super, super true. I like to do things in a jam-packed hour. Like if I'm just, okay, I need to do this, I'll write a list, and I'll even tell my husband, okay, watch the baby. I'm gonna do it. Like I enjoy doing the things like fast because I can get it done. And if some of you are like me, you like to check it off or cross it off your list, that gives me pure enjoyment of getting that stuff done, you know, like getting it off the list. So I know there's a couple of people that have that type of personality, and maybe some people have to learn how to do that, but that's how you are able to be effective. Mandy probably has things to add to that because she has 3 girls and they're not all out of the house yet, and they're not babies, but they're spread out in this how many, like 5 years, 3 years.
Yeah,
Mandy, you can jump
yeah,
in.
3 years and
But
then
yeah,
5 years.
and I know Mandy herself, she loves her house to be perfect, clean. Every time I go there, it's so spick and span. I don't even know how she does it. If you can see behind her, she has Christmas decorations. Her whole house, I'm telling you right now, I witnessed her whole house is decorated. That's
Oh,
just the
one room.
living room. She has the entrance, and she has another living room that has a tree. She has like Christmas lights everywhere. For for me, see, that's her priority. For me, I just bought a Christmas tree and there's nothing on it yet. So see where how everybody's different on how they time management their time, their daily activities or their things. So why is it important for business? Super, super effective. When you have a time management skill, when you have that, it really impacts your life, but also your, not just your personal life, your business life, especially in network marketing. So when people are like, you know, why do I have to spend time on this? Why, whatever, you have goals in your head, you have dreams to do. So you have to keep thinking about those things that, you know, sometimes people are like, I don't want to make another call, or I don't want to spend an hour making, you know, making an email or sending this message to someone or inviting them to whatever. But in when that adds up, it increases your sales, it increases your team growth, it increases your every being, which network marketing is all about people. So it's something that you have to do, and it's way better than working, you know, 2 or 3 or 5 jobs doing whatever and making just a little bit of money. So you got to invest in that time to do it so you can get the outcomes that you've dreamed of and that you want. This is just something that I felt like super hits on the point. Time is the one resource that we can't buy more of. So, but we can always make better use of what we have. Efficient time management isn't just getting more done, it's about getting the right things done at the time to propel your business forward. So, when some people are like, oh, I got like 10, 20 things done, the quality of whatever you are getting done might not be as beneficial to your business. So you got to think about what exactly you're doing too, on top of how many things you have to do. And so there's one technique I do want to share with you. It's called the Eisenhower matrix. It has, I'm going to show you a chart after for an example, but it basically will show you what's urgent versus important tasks, and just to show you what, you know, what you're doing in your life and how you can organize it to what's more important, what's not important, what you can delegate, what you can give away, or what you can give up. So these are techniques that can help you today with your personal life or your business. I hope you guys can see this, but this is the matrix right here. So here you have important, so these top, and then we have not important, and then you have the urgent and not urgent. So in your personal life, you can do this, and then you can do one for your business. You can do this for your health, or you can mix it all together if you want. But for here in the green, it says do. So this is the important urgent. You need to do these things as much as possible. This one is the important not urgent. So you can schedule this throughout your day. It's kind of more like long-term, just things that you have big goals for long-term, but you still need to do it. These ones are delegate to another person if you can, or if you can afford to hire someone to do that, or maybe look for an intern or a volunteer that can help you, or even family that might want to do a favor for you, things that you can give it away that you can let go. these things will help you with your time. This one is not important, urgent. So you got to limit what you're doing here. And so, for example, here I got an example online here for urgent or important, urgent. These are things with deadlines, so things that have to be ASAP done. So, for example, finishing a client project or finishing a maybe like a slideshow presentation or something, submitting in a draft, or doing emails, sending emails back, or replying messages on Facebook or Instagram, replying to people that are asking about your business. Those are super important. Don't procrastinate or leave those behind, because those are profit producing things that can help you with your business, and of course in turn give you profits for what you need to do, or what you want to make and hit your goals. This one here is important, not urgent. So activities without a deadline. So there's lots of things that can fall into that. You can use strategic planning or personal development, things that you maybe the videos that I was talking to you about, like learning and taking a course that you can learn to be better person, like those are good goals, but it's not urgent and you can fit those in. I would say exercise to some people might be very important, but it might not be as urgent to other people. So these examples might not apply to you, but it could apply to other people. Like if you were a fitness trainer or if you were a model or something, then exercise of course is important that you do it every day. Um, these ones I like because sometimes I have an issue with delegating. So to give away a task to someone else that they can do. So if you can hire somebody that can run your social media, your Facebook or your Instagram, that will save you a lot of time. Or if somebody has a skill of scheduling and you don't want to do that, then you can give it to somebody else. Or even cooking for you or cleaning, hiring someone to clean your house instead of spending 10 hours cleaning your house. Maybe you can hire somebody for cheap. In turn, you're going to start doing more business activities, profit producing, and then you make more money. So you're not going to break even by paying someone. You're actually going to make a lot more. And then this one, a lot of us might be guilty for this. I am one of them. Things that we need to minimize or delete just out of our life that is not profit producing. So sometimes we can stay on hours. I remember during the pandemic when TikTok came out, I was on there for 4 to 6 hours just looking at videos. And I was like, what am I doing? I had to like stop it and like delete the app because I felt like I was wasting so much time. Some people have a hard time cutting their time to watch TV. Like they have to watch, every episode. They have to binge watch this whole season, and that takes hours and hours. And you think about it after, you usually get guilty, and you're just like, oh man, I could have made that call. I could have wrote that quote. I could have sent that email. But instead, I just sat there for 5 hours watching a show that maybe had nothing to do with anything but just pure entertainment. Now, I don't want to say that you should not enjoy, you're not allowed to have fun, or you can't do anything for free, like have freedom, but you do have to limit it a lot. Like put yourself on a timer. Some people, my husband's not on the call, but I'll talk about my husband. My husband sometimes will go to the washroom and he has his phone and he's like in there for so long, and I'm like, are you okay in there? Like, I know you're done, but when he's on his phone, you take longer in there. And I think this is funny because a lot of husbands do this, and I can be guilty myself, but that's a time wasted as well to actually go to something else, something you could have done to help, whether it's your spouse or help the business progress. So those are just examples of that. So I would recommend you try to do this to organize and see what you have. A lot of us are just like running around, not really knowing what we have to do, because day to day we have hundreds of thousands of things to do. We're like, I got to clean this, I got to do that, I got to answer this. And then you're so overwhelmed, you actually stop and do nothing. Right, Maddie?
Definitely.
Like, Maddie, if you can jump in on this too, because I know with your schedule, Maddie wakes up at like 3 o'clock or something crazy, like 4 o'clock sometimes for her shifts, and has to work and then think about the kids and what they're going to eat. And yeah, you can go explain a little bit about your daily routines and how you manage that.
For sure, for sure. It's hard because all of us, like I said, we have commitments around our business. But what Kim just touched on, scheduling, I found is so beneficial. It is so helpful. If you can plan out your day ahead of time, it's gonna really lead you to success. Limiting, like she said, we all need to sometimes binge watch mentally. We don't know where we are, you're stressed and you need to watch an hour or two of TV, and it's okay. And it's okay not to, don't feel guilty about it. We all need me time. So whatever it is for you, going out with friends for dinner, watching TV, whatever it may be. Delegate for me, it was so hard in the beginning because it's like my main focus is to build New Era. Within that now, I work. I work full time. Yes, I'm a mom to three girls. How can I manage to get everything, laundry, the cooking, the cleaning, the go grocery shopping? Okay, so I had to delegate. I have to tell my kids now, they're at that age. It's like, you can do the dishes, one of you can do the laundry, because I'm going to be in a meeting. And don't feel guilty for that, because this is who you're building the business for, is your family. You're building it for your children, your spouse, whoever it may be. Delegate, I think, is so important. Time management is so crucial for our networking business. We need to optimize productivity, right? In order to achieve success here. How can we do that? Prioritize your tasks. If you know that today, say Christmas is coming, January's here, and you need to make $3,000 this month. How are we going to do this? We got to start talking to people, and it's so doable. You can pay off your Christmas debt, the gifts, everything else. You need to make that a priority. And how do you do that? Utilize the tools, utilize what you have at any given time. And it comes down to management again, time management. If you're out there and you're talking to people, get their contact information. And you're going to take out a time slot today for 2 hours. Guess what I'm doing? It's going to be power hour. All what we're doing is we're sending out emails, we're calling people, inviting them to our Zooms. And if you said you're going to do that 10 that day, do the 10. And after you achieve that, you're going to just feel so much better about crossing that off for that day, off your list for to do. And I feel like the more you do that, the better you get at it. Um, regularly review where you're at, where you spent your time. Is it moving you forward? Are you happy? Have you achieved what you said you were going to achieve today by, end of the week, end of the month? And if you haven't, how can we do that? Again, we just got to revert back and say, where am I spending so much of my time? And it is the holidays. And, it's, of course, we spend so much time now with our loved ones, people we haven't seen for a while. And that is going to take time out the next 2 weeks, a week and a half, I would say. But yes, be mindful because January is around the corner. And how are you going to move forward in New Era? How are you going to use your time management? What you're going to do to propel forward in this? And yes, to utilize, we have videos now. If you meet somebody, send them a video, get their phone number, get their contact, but make a list. Be very mindful that this is what you're doing. So tomorrow you're going to do the follow-up. So
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing personally. I feel that it's been very effective. Can I tweak it? Definitely. There's always room for improvement. But if we get started small steps, it's going to lead to huge victories in this.
Mhm. Thank you. So what Maddie was mentioning about the holidays and stuff, this is actually the best time because we're really lucky that our business is about networking, right? So you can go to your events, you can go to your dinners, you can meet people, but remember in network marketing, you are the business really, right? New Era is amazing and has great services and we have great courses and products that we have to offer, but people will not just join anybody in that. They're joining you. So you need to represent yourself very wisely. Like you are your billboard, you are your advertisement. So if you're awesome and you show so much love, you show so much care to people, you're like fun to be around, people are going to want to gravitate to you. And in result, that's actually doing more for your business. It's not right away, but you're planting seeds. So make sure you represent yourself wisely when you're doing that, and you can do both things in one. So go out for a dinner, but also be awesome. And then you can make more contacts, meet people. And that's how we really, you start to really learn how to represent yourself in your business. I've just put a couple of quotes here just to kind of get us back into the topic of today. So lost time is never found again. And I mentioned it before, that's something that you can't, like you can always get money. If you lose money, you can always make more money, right? But then if you lose time, you can't get it back. We can't get those days back. You can't get those years back. So whatever you do is just use it wisely. Don't let it get lost in the dust. So effective planning. So there's people will have agendas. I'm very old school, so I actually write in like my agenda. I have to have a calendar and I write down what needs to be done. And then in those blocks of times, I can squeeze in business time. Things that I have to do for New Era. Okay, I'm gonna make this phone call, I gotta make this presentation, make this training. I need to talk to Maddie about this. We need to sign this person up. How do we give him an onboard one-on-one? Things like that are very important so that you actually get things done. So blocking the times are really helpful if you can do that. So if you know that, your child is going to school from, 9 o'clock to 3. So that time is a good block to do things and do it productively and try not to procrastinate in that time, because that's all the time you have. Because once you pick up your kid, you're a little bit busy being mom, dropping them off to activities and doing things. But that's okay. When they come home and they have dinner and they go to sleep, then you have another block of time to do things that you need to do around the house for your business or anything that can create income streams, right? So just be more effective with your planning. When you don't plan, things just don't happen the way you want it, and everything just like kind of just goes and time pass and you're like, I didn't even do anything. So this is another quote, William Penn. Time is what we want most, but what we use worst. So if you're guilty of that, that's okay too, because we are human. But what's good about our business and the type of business that we are in, you can just reset and start again. Okay, yesterday I had an emotional day. Things happened. Someone was sick, someone passed away. That is fine. Reset, get yourself together, and just, if you need to like take a smoothie that has energy or like an energy drink, maybe some coffee, put a little pep in your step. Sometimes you can take like what's it called, just like pop a what do you call those, like pills, like thermogenic pill that gets you burning, that you can like go 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 go. That's what I like to do when I need to do a lot of things or clean the room. I'll just like take an energy drink and I'm like, okay, go, and I'll tack the list and it's like crossing off, crossing off, crossing off. Then again, like Maddie said, you feel good about it, right? You feel better about your business, you're more positive. Task batching is really important. So when you group similar things together, for example, a lot of us do online business, so social media and creating content, all those things that revolve around online, you can do that in one grouping at a time in your blocked time that you have free, because you can just bang it out, bang it out, bang it out. If you start doing, okay, I'm gonna clean and then I'm gonna post and then I'm gonna, make lunch and then I'm gonna go here and write this or do this PowerPoint, your mind is all over the place. And there's actually studies that have shown where when you get interrupted or when someone interrupts you or you have to stop and do something else, it actually takes away 20 minutes of productivity in your time. So if you think of that, as much as you get distracted, like sometimes you're working and you get a phone call, you're like, oh, you stop, you got to pick it up. Sometimes you have to put your phone on silence and don't pick it up and just tell them that you'll call them back later, because you're going to stop the adrenaline that you have. You're going to stop the role that you are got going on. So it's going to backtrack you a lot. Oops. Sorry. Okay, managing distractions. So like I said, with the phone, you gotta really think about that. Procrastination is also another evil thing. But discussing like with your team or with the person that you're building this with, if it's one or two people, how can you work together and make sure you keep accountable? Like my sister did not do her taxes for a very, very long time. And so it came to a point where me and my other sister had to go on a Zoom call. We said, turn off your phone. We're going to keep you accountable. We're going to do work. You're going to do your taxes, and we're not going to get off until you're done. And so we did it for like an hour and a half. And she was late a year. She's not on this call too, so she was late for a year to do her taxes. And in that hour and a half, she got it done. And guess what? Of course, because she's a business person, because in business, hopefully, and depending on what country you live in, you have a lot of tax benefits that can go with that. You get a return back. So she made like $3,000 from doing her taxes. And it boggles my mind because she knew that, but at the same time, it took her a lot. Like procrastination is an evil thing in your life, that she was just like, oh, I can't do it. It's too overwhelming. It's a big task, right? But sometimes you just gotta bite I think the saying is like bite the frog or something, or bite the bullet. Just go in and just do it. And sometimes you have to count yourself down. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this big task and I gotta do it now, or else I won't be able to do it after 3 o'clock. And you got to go like, okay, 3, 2, 1, just do it and don't think, because your mind will start to distract you and say, like, oh, you can't do that. You got to do this. Or don't you want to watch that show? Aren't you hungry now? Go make a shake or go make a meal or like order food. Let's go for lunch with Mandy or something. Let's take a walk. Like, oh, I didn't work out. Let's go work out instead of that. So there's lots of things that will come into your head and your mind and that voice in your head. So you got to be aware of that too when you have those time blocks of free time. Time you enjoy wasting time. Wait, sorry, what? The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. Marth Trolley Curtin. So I like this because I know that we're saying don't waste time, do your business stuff, but you are in control of your time, and whatever you do will result in the business that you want. So you have to be mindful. If you're spending time with your kids just laughing and playing around and you're having, great time, those moments, cherish those moments, have that time with them, but remember them so that when you do your work and you have that time blockage that you're not with your kids, you better work really hard so that you can have more of those moments and more of that time. So that's something that I would love to add for the parents out there. I wanted to open this up in the chat while I'm talking, continuing, just to type in the chat if there's any challenges that you have with time management, and then we could touch base again with other trainings if anybody wants to do that. But just type in what really challenged you with time management in your business. And then for the takeaways, and Maddie, if you want to jump in anytime, just, you can interrupt me. But we've talked about a lot of this and covered to prioritize what needs to be done. Planning is huge. It's very effective. Do the task in a batch manner in groupings of your block time that you have free. Use the tools wisely and manage your distractions and avoid procrastination. Procrastination is the devil. Implement these strategies as much as you can. Start today. Start when you are like pretty much off this call, and you will go a long way. So the trouble is you think you have time, Buddha. I like this quote because honestly, we always think we have so much time. We're always like, oh yeah, we'll do it again tomorrow. We'll do it again or whatever. But if you want a big business, like an international business, right? New Era is international. If you want to create this huge team across the world, do you think you will get that if you're spending 5 hours on Netflix? Maybe not. So I'll leave you with that. And if Maddie, if you want to jump in with anything, otherwise, Maddie, if you want to introduce Imran, he's going to do a little bit of back office training.
Back office training. Yeah. No, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody for coming on the call. What we have planned for the new year, and please type in the chat if this is something you'd be interested in. We are going to start power hours. So if that is something that you feel you need support, you feel like it's going to be more beneficial because we're all in a group and we're here to help each other. And all what we're doing is calling people, sending out emails. We're going to start doing that in the new year. We're going to start off with 1 day a week. We haven't picked what day yet, for an hour. And then, you know what, depending on the feedback we get, and if you guys feel that's so beneficial for New Era and bringing people on board, you feel like you're being more productive, we're going to up it to 2 days a week and start inviting everybody to the power hour. So we're all working towards our goals together, and we're here to help and support one another. So please let us know what you think. If you feel like that would help, that is what we're going to be starting in the new year for all of us. Also, before Imran comes on, thank you so much again. I wish everybody a very Merry
Sorry, Mandy, is
Yes.
Ibrahim going to the training?
He told us you were.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
because I know
fine,
he's
that's
on in a meeting right now, so he had asked
fine.
for the back office. Yeah.
Like Mandy, what I'm going to do from next week, I'll be doing a proper training on the back office.
Okay.
So I think we should call off today's meeting.
No problem.
Next time I didn't know that I need to do that, otherwise I would have prepared myself.
Yeah, no worries at all. We will start, after Christmas.